you. Good afternoon, Busan. It is my absolute pleasure to share space with all of you wonderful, amazing, powerful activists. And I represent the Global Alliance for Incinerator Alternatives. We are a network of over 1,000 grassroots organizations and alliances across 92 countries, and we are unified in a just zero waste world. We are at a crossroads. The fifth and the last scheduled round of negotiations marks the final sprint for a legally binding instrument to end plastic pollution through a comprehensive approach across full life cycle of plastics, as is written under the UNEA Mandate 5/14. The decisions made in Bexco over the next week will set the course for action on plastic pollution for many years and perhaps decades to come. It is also the first meeting in Asia, and I speak to you as a fellow Asian, one of the worst affected regions by the triple planetary crisis and amongst the largest plastic producers. We are also the dumping grounds of rich nations and import plastic waste as high as 74%. Shame. And we are also importers of burning technologies, incineration, chemical recycling that the industry has pushed down our throats, which is worsening the impacts that we face as communities across Asia. But Asia is also the home of zero waste solutions. We have a history of living in communion with nature, and we have strong ties as communities. The capitalistic model is still recent for us. Many cities in Asia, including your very own Seoul, has shown success with reuse and single-use plastics reduction. The world is watching. All eyes are on Busan right now. We must ensure that our leaders demonstrate their promise of protecting our ecosystems, safeguarding our health, and ensuring that we stay within the 1.5 degrees boundary set by the Paris Agreement, where they met for a COP only very recently. Or we would have failed ourselves, our people, and our environment. Jobs in the petrochemical industry are declining as I speak. Meanwhile, jobs offered by reuse and repair businesses will continue to grow in a stronger regulatory regime that our leaders can ensure happens. The lifetime cost of plastics to the environment and to people, including greenhouse gas emissions, waste management costs, and pollution, and discounting human health costs, are at least 10 times their market cost, the 10 times the cost that you buy plastic for, which nobody is accounting, which nobody is paying. Worse, plastic pollution costs low-income countries, many of whom are in Asia, 10 times more than it costs high-income countries. So to truly end plastic pollution, we must urge our leaders to have binding controls across plastics life cycle, starting with extraction and especially production phase down. To be a just and fair instrument, Plastics Treaty must ensure that the financial mechanism prioritizes reduction of plastics, redesign and reuse through a dedicated, sufficient, sustainable fund that supports low-income countries and especially small island developing states and economies in transition who have borne disproportionate burden of plastic pollution. This agreement must center principles of human rights and justice, polluter pays, do no harm, and provide just transition for waste pickers and other informal workers engaged in the plastic life cycle, as well as indigenous people, as key partners of the treaty and not just stakeholders. Plastic is the command. I don't know if I said it right, but thank you for your attention. Please reach out to us for anything that you may need. We are all here from GAIA with our many members from across the globe. Thank you.